Hey guys, welcome back to the Odyssey podcast once again. Thanks for bearing with us. I know it's been a 3 month break, but we're finally back with another banger. And you might be saying, Christian Jerome, all your podcast is about local extraordinary people. And this guest you'll have on, if you see any title, you'll be like, this man is not from Trinidad. But I was thinking about it and I was like, Tilo is more Trinidadian than all of us right now.
Nah.
He's seen more of Trinidad than me.
Maybe.
Probably talked to more Trinidadians than most people.
Maybe.
But anyways, this is a guy who walked and hitchhiked his way from Germany to Trinidad, walked the whole length of Trinidad and walked around Tobago barefoot. Tilo, thank you so much for joining us on the
Thank
podcast.
You. Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Thank you. All right. So
Anyways.
Tilo, yeah, a lot of people know you as the guy who they just know you as the guy who came to Trinidad, walked the length of Trinidad, and you walked the circumference of Tobago. But your journey started way before this, and I kind of want to go back to Germany. And obviously, you've had a lot of personal growth on this journey, and so I want to know, like, tell me about Tilo before this trip in Germany.
Well, I mean, I can just give a short summary. And yeah, I mean, it's a long backstory how everything happened. Basically, I was just random normal guy from a small village who, I don't know, I dreamed to see the world, I guess. I don't know.
But there's one thing, so you finished school, and you said you didn't know what you wanted to do with your life.
Yeah, basically. So I was small village, middle of nowhere. We had animals, we never traveled, so nothing crazy. My family wasn't really crazy, nothing really. But I just finished high school basically, and I also was super shy guy, I wasn't
That's crazy.
two friends or something like that. And yeah, well then I didn't know what to do with my life, And well then I did the pilgrimage, that's how everything started. You know what the pilgrimage is?
Are you talking about the walk from France to Spain?
From Germany to Spain. It's called Camino Santiago. It's like a web of ways that goes to one big cathedral at the end of Spain.
Right, too.
Yeah, and it's a cultural thing in Europe. Some people just walk that, and I walked basically from Germany to Spain on foot for a month, 3,000 kilometers. And yeah, basically.
That is crazy to do with no previous training, right?
No training. I just got my backpack and started walking. I worked for 1 month, earned some cash for my equipment, and then just started walking.
As well.
How did you survive for a month?
Well,
what did you do to eat something?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I started with only 50 euros. That was all accidentally, actually.
You left your money home.
Yeah, I left my money at home. I left my money at home. It was, my credit card didn't work. I left my money at home, and I only had 50 euros from the day before. But I had the first few weeks, I had a lot of friends on the way, contacts where I could sleep each night, and they give me food. And from time to time, someone would give me a little bit money here and there, and then I would be just bare minimum. I ate less than €1 per day, and in Europe that's very, very hard.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's 7 TT, more or less 7.2 TT per day, less than 7.2 TT.
That's
Euro
wild.
currency. And basically I ate oatmeal with water and a little bit of sugar. And fruits I found in the wild. That's what I ate. All really, really cheap baguette in France. And I didn't pay for accommodation really. I just went in villages. I mostly walked through villages and just asked around. I was like, hey, can I sleep in the city center? Can I sleep in the barn of the farmer or in the workshop of some stonemasons? Or I slept, I don't know, couch surfing, if you ever heard of that.
Yeah.
I just, just make it work, just somehow for some reason I figured out each night where to sleep, And the thing is I'm not outgoing at all. I was scared to at the beginning, I was scared to buy a bread. But the thing is, once you're out there, once you're in a village, it's getting dark and you don't know where to sleep.
Choice.
You have no choice. At the beginning, I was so nervous. I would for half an hour, I would just stand in the I don't know, dark corner somewhere in the village and be like, I'm just scared to talk with the people, you know. I'm just
Wow.
but eventually we're just like go to the first person. And the thing is, once you have like the first 3 people, you know, it gets a little bit easier. You know, you get like a groove, you know, talking to people and be like, hey, I'm a pilgrim. I don't have a lot of money. I just need a sleep. Sleep. And they're like, I don't know, a sleeping bag, and that's basically how I did it.
So did you like do any work for that, or were people just helping you out to like the goodness of their heart?
Well, I worked in the Champagne. This is like the region in Spain where they make champagne. I worked there to make champagne. Well, I paid for my food, but mostly people let me stay for free, and they're like, I didn't have fancy accommodations, right?
Of course,
Yeah,
it's like
so
Someone
those
opened
videos,
like, yeah. Someone just opened like the city center for me and was like, you can sleep here for a night, no problem. You know, I slept on the ground in this pilgrimage, and you know, that's how it all started. You know, that's how I figured out you can live pretty cheaply. You know,
yeah, literally.
for sure.
Because people are always like, I want to travel, but I don't have money. Like, of course, some people might not want to do it to the extent you did it, but like you could travel for way cheaper than you think you could.
Well, I started with no money on this trip. Oh man, you can travel without money. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I did have a tent and a sleeping bag and stuff, but you know, I started with 0 cents, nothing.
Wow.
That's
money.
insane.
I want to go back a little bit.
Even further back. What do you-
No. I just want to find out one thing.
Yeah, go for it.
What were your parents' reaction when you told them, you know what, I'm going to walk to Spain?
Well, I don't know. Back then, they were like, okay, cool, he's going to do this and he's going to study afterwards. And like, I don't know, it's a cool thing. But I plan to do this with money, you know. The thing is, it just happened, just huge coincidence. But then I was already like walking, you know, I couldn't, you know, it's like, okay, let's try to see how far I can get with that. And, you know, just like, I thought I'd call my mom and she's like gonna send it to me to the next village, some money or whatever. I always couldn't do that. But you know, then I got like money here, money there, and I didn't spend that much. And like, okay, let's go. You know, I was just, it wasn't like my idea. It was just like, you know, let's, like the way I work as a person is not, I have like these huge ideas. I have just like it's not like I have a huge goal I'm working. It's more like, okay, I have this idea. Let's try to see how we can work that. You know, let's go in this direction. Let's try that out a little bit. Maybe if it doesn't work, I can go back. You know, it's not like, you know, I have like this huge idea of walking there with no money. It's just like, you know, we'll go there and we'll see what happens. Maybe it's cool. Maybe it's not cool, you know? And yeah.
How?
It's crazy.
Because like when you left Germany, you would have had places to stay by friends, you said, for like the beginning of it. But when like the trip, when the walk like fully started, when you were like all alone,
Yeah.
how were those first Saturdays?
Well, I guess the first day not having a place to sleep is like super scary. I mean, like 2 days before I knew, okay, there's like a village and I don't have a place to sleep. That's like so scary. I was just like chewing all my fingernails down. The whole walk, I couldn't concentrate and I was so scared. And then I walked there and there was a big party. And so like literally there's the first people I walked by them and like, I thought, you know, they were good to talk to, but then I'm like, I need to talk to someone. And just like walking up and down some like, I don't know, some small park there. And it's like, I need to talk to them. Man, you know, and then I just try and bang on like a shaky voice. I'm like, hey, I'm doing a pilgrimage. I need a place to sleep, but I have no money. And talk to them a little bit. And I'm like, do you have like a pastor, priest? And he called a priest. And well, it was like an instant success. He was like, okay, I give you the general keys. You have like huge church complex. You have like, you could sleep there. We have everything. You have a kitchen. You have access to the church. You have access to community rooms and
Luxury.
yeah. It wasn't always that great. I had the worst stuff ever, but you know, it was really. I mean, I guess the first feeling is like the best. You know, the first time you have no idea where to sleep because like the first time is like the biggest fear. You know, it's shit all the time, every time when you don't know where to sleep. You know, I'd say you after like. I don't know, after like the 60th time when you don't know how to sleep, it gets somewhat better. It doesn't bother you that much. It's just like, you know, like little insecurity in the back of your head. But like, I guess the first 30 times, it's still pretty bad each day, you know, but there's nothing I can do about it, you know. That's a good thing. Like if it would be, I couldn't do it if I didn't have to, you know, like the only reason why I could do it is because I couldn't quit. Like I could quit, but it's very hard to quit at that point because I'm walking. Yeah, what do I need to do to quit? Like I don't know. Need to go to the next train station. Where's the next train station? You know, like and the freaking shame of like going back home. It's not like you know, just I don't know. I wouldn't like just going out and trying to ask random people to sleep. I don't like to do that. But if you have to,
shy too. I get that.
Yeah, if you have to, you know. And I got a little bit more open to that, and you know, I finished that, and they hitchhiked back. My parents were like, you know, you're gonna study, you know, and like the thing is, I was very good at school. I could study everything. I could become lawyer, doctor, everything. But I didn't want to. You know, I was like, I don't want to do that. That was the journey was pretty cool. Let's do that again, but like 10 times more awesome. You know, my idea was like, let's go freaking let's fucking hitchhike to the Amazon rainforest without money. Yeah, let's go and live with like a tribe of native people there. That was my idea, you know? Just like random guy in a small village in Germany, 1,000 people was like thinking like, let's go fucking live in the Amazon rainforest with native people. No, I have no money, but let's do it anyway. And like, how the hell do you do that? How the fuck do you do that, man? Like, how? You know, but it's like one step at a time, you know, it's a huge journey, you know, it was absolutely crazy to get here, but I don't know, it's just, that's how like the idea of this journey developed, you know, when I went back. Yeah.
So you told your parents at that time that you were hitchhiking inside the Amazon?
Yeah. I told them, I like.
What did they say?
Yeah.
Oh my God, my mom hates it. She hates it. She still hates it. From time to time, I get like angry phone calls about like me killing myself or like risking myself or getting kidnapped and shit like that. My father's like, the boy's gonna be okay. My mom's like,
what a boss.
She probably thinks I'm gonna die and get robbed and get killed and get kidnapped or everything above. And I don't know.
How often do you talk to them?
From time to time, I call. Still in contact with my friends. You know?
What do your friends think about it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they think it's cool. I never really asked them about it. You know, it's just like the thing I do. You know, I don't know. My friends all do like boring. Like comparative. Most of them still live at home and they just all like study either like law or I don't know, like economy or like teaching. That's basically, you know, like in Germany, that's what nearly everybody does. Either becomes like a teacher, goes into economy, or goes into law. You know, like.
Well, I mean, you're young too, so that makes it even more insane. I find.
What?
How old you are? You're like 20.
Yeah. The pilgrimage was like
18.
18. Yeah, exactly.
So that's at 18, we weren't doing anything close to as crazy as that.
Still aren't.
Still can't.
Oh my God, that's wild.
That's mad. And so you obviously would have had to deal with so much rejection during that. Like how so did it get to the point where you just like didn't care anymore in terms of the people telling you no?
No. Still hurts every time. But it gets better. It gets a lot better, and I don't know. The thing is like what helps is also you're freaking tired, you know, and you have no choice, you know. Like if you're in a village at that point you have no choice, you know, like you need a place to sleep. And the thing is, I didn't have a tent, right? And I was super scared that there was like, in the end, I got a tent. My like father went to me and he joined me for like a week. And in Spain, I had a tent because I don't speak Spanish. And there I slept either in a tent or like in front of churches and stuff. I only like slept at like local people there like twice or so. But like all friends in Germany, every single day I found a place to sleep somehow, you know, either... It's a few times through couch surfing. I couch surf in Spain too, but mostly I just walked inside a village or a city and would talk to like the priest or anybody who's in charge, anybody who has some kind of accommodation. Like, I don't know. Well, I guess, this was like the first journey. The second journey was more insane than the first journey, right? Like, okay, I can tell you. So I started with the idea I want to go to the Amazon rainforest, right, in mind. But I was like in a freaking village in the middle of nowhere. My first stop was like Berlin. My goal was to stay there like 6 weeks and make some money. I have there a friend. She allowed me to stay there like a few days at her home. And I'm like, okay, I'll need to go there, find a job and whatever. And just with my backpack, I literally hiked through the woods out of my village to like the next small country road. And just stand there, like put out my thumb, hitchhiking. And I guess for the first 2 hours there wasn't a single car stopping, and you start doubting yourself pretty soon. You're like, what the fuck are you doing?
That
What
must be depressing. Wow,
Yeah.
that's insane.
But you need like endurance for that, and you need to go on. And eventually there was a car to brought me to like small city, and then I got another car who brought me to the next highway, and from highway there's like a long distance car, and eventually I was sitting in a Ferrari that brings me like at noon, and I was sitting in a Ferrari with like 200 whatever full speed driving into Berlin.
That's so cool.
And
What the hell?
yeah, that was pretty awesome. And then I stayed a friend of mine, and I made my first money like pillow fighting. You know what pillow fighting?
I saw that on YouTube.
Yeah.
I watched like all your videos because I've only been seeing them from Trinidad time, but I went back.
Yeah.
And I is that a thing?
No. No, it's not.
You know what he's talking about?
I need money. I need money. You need to get creative. I can't really draw or
Well, explain to the people.
Dog, that is so insane.
pillow fighting. Well, basically I rent out pillows so they can like fight with pillows,
Like charge people to fight to them.
Yeah. They're just like boom, they just fight with pillows,
To take out the anger on you, basically.
Yeah. Basically euro per like pillow fight. It's very shit money. I made like, I don't know. I didn't make a lot of money. And meanwhile, I was like trying to look for a job. And eventually like I found some job opportunities, but they like all canceled after some time. And then my friend was like, okay, like you're going to have to leave tomorrow. You have like 1 day left. You stayed here too long. I had like 30 years.
Overstayed your welcome.
Yeah. I said 30 years left from pillow fighting. I was like, shit, I need to find a job now. And then like one day I was just like going everywhere, like hustling, like every single thing that might offer a job. I asked like so many like places, and eventually a job agency was like, you can start, we need you. You can start tomorrow, but you have to have a health certificate because it's like a pizza factory, right?
Oh.
So the next day I had to go out of my my friend's apartment, and I need to get the health certificate. And when I arrived there, they told me that for the health certificate you need to pay like 20 euros. So I had like 10 euros left. And the thing is, like, I get paid on the 15th of the next month.
No.
So I had like 2.5 weeks or so with like 10 euros and like 8-hour days, right? So I couldn't like make pillow fights. And the pizza factory was like outside of Berlin, right? So I like walked outside of Berlin. I also had no place to sleep on top of that, right? Outside of Berlin with my big backpack, arrived at my pizza factory, and they were like, you can't bring the big backpack here. We don't have the place for that. Today is okay, but the next time you come here, you can't bring the backpack.
That's all your belongings.
All my belongings, if that shit gets stolen, like my journey is basically at an end,
Yeah, boy. Wow.
Yeah. And then, I did my first shift, and then I just camped outside, and I just tried to find a place to sleep. It was a little bit outside, and just ask every farmer, every landowner, everything. And there was some kind of community that said like, okay, for like 1 week, you can sleep right there in the back. And, it's like, okay, good. The problem is like 3-4 hours walking from the pizza, 3-4 kilometers, like around an hour walking through like the woods to get to the pizza factory, because it's like kind of outside, and I only had like 10 euros. So basically the first few weeks I'd survived on like old bread from supermarkets from the day before. They like sell it for cheap, or like I just go to like dumpsters and like dumpster dive, like I take out like stuff that supermarkets throw away. That's how I survive, right? And then I walk to the pizza factory there any day. And the hard thing about this is the pizza factory, they throw away so much pizza, but you're not allowed to eat them. You're sitting there and they have like freaking 2 cubic meters of like pizza they throw away every table, like, and you just
never took a piece while you were
never
working.
stole it.
Of course, but but you can't really eat them. You're just like sneaking in a salami, and the thing about like being poor basically is it's really hard on your mind. Like this is the hardest part of the journey. Like it fucks with your mind, because like I had like a budget of like 50 cents per day, and if you like walk through the street and you see a guy like eating like ice cream, and this is like 3 euros, this is what you like eat in a week, and I don't know, it's just, you just see everybody enjoying themselves, and you look at them and they're like, yeah, they have a nice place to sleep, and you're like kind of like in survival mode, like it's like you just kind of you can't really, it's really hard to like think or be creative, like where do I sleep? What rate? Like how do I get my food today? How to get through the day? Getting on my job on time, and yeah, then I spent a little bit too much money, ate a little bit too much bread, and like after 1.5 weeks, my budget was empty. I didn't have any money.
What do you do?
I had a weekend, right? And I begged my employer for like advance, and they gave me like 20 euros. And I thought, you know what? I mean, I could probably have survived on that as alone, but I was like, okay, let's try to make some money with that. So I heard that in Berlin, they sell beer in front of the clubs, right? The clubs are on the complete other side of Berlin. So I went to the next supermarket. I have no idea of beer. I just bought like any cheap beer, whatever, put them in my backpack, and I just went on the other side of Berlin, to try to sell the beer. And now it's like, I don't know, like 10, 11, 12 in the evening, and my backpack full of beer, you know, I'm kind of hungry, trying to sell a beer, walking down like the beer alleys, and nobody wants to buy it. Nobody wants to buy.
Probably hot beer too.
Yeah. And literally, I put all my money in beer. I maybe had like, you know. And eventually, there was one guy who told me like, "This is like the cheapest beer you bought. It's only like the homeless people that drink that, right?" It's like, and there were like other guys who also sell beer, right? I walked to different clubs, and they had ice cold beer. They had different brands of beer. They had good beer, not like in cheap plastic stuff. I'm like, shit, you know. But you know, and I'm like lost in the big city. I'm from a village, you know, like my backpack is heavy. I have everything I have is this beer, you know, all my money. If I don't sell this right now, I have no money for the next 2.5 weeks, but I still have to go to work 8 hours each day, and I have to walk like 2 hours each day to the place I sleep, you know. And
drinking beer for dinner then.
Nah. I was like, shit, you know, this is really what makes you or breaks you, know, these moments where you have to go through this. So I walked I kind of like went to the metro, like I walked, and there was like a third club somewhere, which is like mostly visited by foreigners, right? It's like kind of long. When I arrived, there was like a whole journey to arrive there, like at 2 o'clock in the morning, like 2 hours before they like stopped taking visitors. Thought maybe this is like the last opportunity, right? And when I arrived there was like some Chinese guy, and he had like a whole like setup, you know, where he has like ice cold beer and everything, you know. But this guy's just standing on the side, you know. It's like, okay, let's put out the beer and just walk like along the line, you know, just ask everybody like personally, you know. And there were a lot of foreigners, so I basically told the foreigners, this is like the best German beer, you know. This is like brewed after the freaking I was like all my fucking might, you know, all my desperation like fueled it. And the thing is, things start working, you know. And I started selling beer, and eventually, like at 4 o'clock in the evening, I had sold everything but one beer, you know. I had one beer left. I made like 67 euros with that. Wow. And I kind of went back, and to celebrate, I drank the last beer, and it was the worst shit. It was like I spit it out again. Like it was lukewarm. It was disgusting as hell. I didn't drink the whole bottle. I was like, fucking hell, what the shit am I selling people? Yeah, and basically this money helped me like the last
survive. Yeah,
this money helped me survive the last like six weeks. Were like not that spectacular. Just like basically just, I mean, you know, I still like eat very cheap food, but you know, just like going to work, and like I had different jobs too, like chocolate factory and like other you know job agency. Sometimes I switch it around, but so that's how I got my first money, and then I just started hitchhiking to Paris next, you know, because I really wanted to visit Paris. Right. This time I had money, by the way. There's a huge difference between not having money and having money, even if you sleep on the street, you know. If you sleep on the street and you know you have like 2,500 euros, it's a big difference between sleeping on the street and you're like, if you wake up tomorrow, you can't afford any bread, you know. you can't do anything. It's a huge difference, insane difference. Like going through this, I can't imagine like how homeless people go through this. Who like, I always had like an option to quit, you know. I could call my mom. I do have like a credit card with like emergency money, right? Oh. I could have quit at any time, but I just wanted to do this without money. I just wanted to. It wasn't like a lot of money, but like a little bit left from like my work, and so I could always, but I never did. You know,
strong mind.
Yeah, I don't know. I just sometimes I'm get really obsessed with something. So I arrived in Paris, right? And the thing is, Paris is really, really shit for sleeping there. It's like it's worse than here. I could argue because, like, first of all, there's like a ton of homeless people everywhere. There's like a ton of rats, and the rats are like big. They're 2 fists. That's like huge rats. As like they don't get rats that big here, and there are like a lot of them, right? You look in the parks, you look in the bushes, there are like 20 of them. You know, and they eat your shit, and everything is dirty. You know, all the good corners are like full, and even the parks, you know, in the woods, they're like people setting up their whole tents. So the only free place was somewhere outside of Paris, like I think like an undeveloped like building space, a lot of rubbish, but there was like somewhere a hole. Actually, my father told me this was there because my father also like had to sleep like a night in Paris and he didn't get a hotel, and he just randomly saw this place like from the train, and he was like, "There's a hole there," you know. You know, I sneaked inside there, and I slept the first night, and when I woke up, you know, my whole face was covered in mosquito bites, like really, like everything red dots. I was smelly. I was so exhausted. Also, I just like 3 days, I just hitchhiked from like Berlin to like Paris, right? So like spending like nights in like truckers and like on gas stations and shit. I was so done. And then I get like a message from Couchsurfing, because I did like a ton of Couchsurfing requests, like 12, 13 people all like canceled and whatever, didn't find it. And this was like, you know, a nudist is? Like a guy who runs around like naked, who was a nudist, and he like owned a nightclub, and he was like, "You can stay at my place, but you have to be naked," and and you have to spend the night with me in a nightclub. You know, and I hated both, but I was like, shit, please give me a shot. Please don't.
So you did it?
Yeah, I did it.
Vibes.
I did it. You know, I would never have done this, you know, but he's also like kind of into like, I don't know, in the weird, he's in some kind of weird sex groups and shit. And you're like, what the hell?
Sure.
Yeah. But the thing is like, he has like,
so fun though.
The only reason I did this, he has like a fuck ton of good reviews. And you're like, okay, like, you don't normally get so many good reviews if you're like, you know, if
You trust him?
Yeah. And I went there, and then he gave me like some freaking designer clothes for nightclub and like some VIP badge and like free drink cards. And yeah, then I went into this nightclub, and like, you know, I sat down with like some girls, and they're like, how you get here? I'm like, I don't know, I just looking for a place to sleep, you know? And then they told me this is like a nightclub, members only. You can only get in there if you're like a model or a designer. It's like super exclusive. And I was like, what the fuck, you know?
What am I doing here?
Yeah. And basically told him my story and was like, I like you. And Fashion Week is coming up, and I need some help in my nightclub. So from that day, the next 2.5 weeks, every day I worked in a nightclub in Paris. Super exclusive nightclubs with like tons of models. I just like brought like ice from here and there and like helped make juices, and it was a crazy time. It was a crazy time. I met like tons of different people. I had a date in the Louvre actually. I did sleep outside of Paris. He lent me his bike, so I biked like outside of the nightclub each night and like bike back. But I make a fuck ton of money. Like I don't know. He paid me like €100 per night.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and
Pizza factory to 100 US a night. Euros a night. How much were you making in pizza factories? 20 every 2 weeks?
No. I made more. I made 250 for 6 weeks. Okay. 2,500 for 6 weeks. 2,500 euros for 6 weeks, and a nightclub. I don't know exactly how much I made. And I didn't care. Like at that point,
100 nights is crazy.
100 a night. Yeah. It's like an 8-hour work, and I didn't care about I didn't care, like he just like cash, you know, like shh. But you know, so I had like money each day coming in, and just like I didn't like take book, you know. I think once I lost like a check somewhere on the night, which like really hurt, but you know, like I don't know, 100 years gone, but you know, I don't know, I just ate how much I want, you know. It's just good. I still slept outside. Yeah, eventually I got sick in a nightclub. That wasn't that cool, you know, like. The last week was really tough because Paris is getting like colder because it's getting winter now. I started in summer, it's getting winter now. And like sleeping outside was getting kind of cold, and I had to like go like 1 hour there, 1 hour back, and back up a mountain. And you know, I would sleep like you know, you have to go there like at 6 o'clock in the evening or 7, and you have 10 in the evening. 8-hour shifts, like you end at 6, and at 6 I was just so finished, you know. It's like it's just, and then you have to like do like through the cold Paris night, like 1 hour biking up the mountain, and you just collapse inside your tent, and the next morning you're super tired. I just got up, got the next supermarket, bought like every food I wanted, sat to like a bench, like freaking 1 hour huge meal, and biked back into Paris. I had another friend there, like a street musician. I hung out like 2 hours, and then I went back to the nightclub and then repeat for like the last. Eventually got to bed. I was like, shit, I need to go south now. We need to go. Fashion week was over, and then I hitchhiked to Spain. Spain was less exciting. Well, I just lived in like 2 small villages. I learned Spanish basically from scratch. I had no Spanish education before.
Oh, that's where you learned your Spanish?
Yeah. I taught it myself, just looking up vocabularies, trying to speak with people. Learning a little bit of grammar. I'm very bad at grammar. But, trying to teach that to myself. And then I went like boat hitchhiking, in Gibraltar, Gibraltar? It's like the mouth of the Mediterranean Sea, where the Mediterranean Sea goes in the Atlantic. Gibraltar is like, there's the port, right? And there are like a few ports where every sailing boat has to go through, right? Every sailing boat who goes from the Mediterranean Sea to the Atlantic wants to cross the Atlantic, go through Gibraltar, because like it's,
It's like a choke point.
Yeah, exactly. There are like a few choke point harbors where you can find like sailing boats, right? And I had no sailing experience, never been on a sailing boat, nothing, I didn't know if I would get seasick. Spoiler, I did.
Spoiler.
I did very badly. And for 1 month, I lived like with a Russian guy in like a Russian boat, helped them restore it. And
Wait, hold on. How did you get on that boat? Like you just
talk. You just talk to people. Like there was another hitchhiker. He stayed at the boat, but he like found another boat, and he was like, "I'm gonna introduce you." And then he stayed on it. Like, yeah, you can stay here, but you have to help. And we shared the food cost, and basically you just get rejected each day for like a month. You just go into the harbor and you talk to every new captain and you ask, hey, do you need an extra crew member? I have no experience. And
that must be hard.
Yeah, like
no experience. It's hard.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, so many captains tell you won't be able to do it, fuck off, whatever, And yeah, I didn't find it across the Atlantic, but I found one to the Canary Islands, which is like, a next step. Canary Islands is also like another choking point. Like nearly every boat goes somewhere in the Canary Islands. And I did the same thing again there. I lived like in a cave outside of the city there, and each day I would go up in the
cool though.
harbor. Yeah. I don't know, a small cave. And by the way, I have to tell you guys, I'm super shy with like talking to captains. Like the first 3 days in Gibraltar, I didn't talk to a single captain. Was so shy, and it's so hard to talk to the first 3 captains.
Captains are not assholes too. I would be scared.
Sometimes, sometimes they're really, really tough. And I was kind of late, so in the Canary Islands, the sailing season started to go to a close, right? And I know I had to find a boat. That was really tough because it's the mental part that is tough, because each day you go in the marina and you get used to it over time. You kind of climb over like the fence, and then you just I had like a map of every single boat that was there and just check if there's any new boats and just talk to every single captain, and captains would tell you the sailing season is over or the sailing season is nearly over. You won't find any boat. So many captains are just negative. They're just, and you just need to go through that. There's some other sailing hitchhikers that are super demotivated. And there are not that many boats coming in anymore. It's like maybe 3, 4, and it's just you just need to continue going on. And eventually there was Carnival. And the others all celebrated Carnival, but was like, okay, let's go. And it's still on Carnival. I kind of sneaked inside there because it's kind of closed. And there was like a new captain, and the captain actually needed some crew. And was the most amazing captain. And he was the perfect captain. Like we had zero like personal problems. And he actually said, you know what, I'm gonna pay for your food too. Normally you pay like 10 euros per day. But he paid for all my food. What? He brought me across there for free. No problem. I had no sailing experiences.
Crazy.
And then I sailed across the Atlantic Ocean. And sailing across the Atlantic Ocean is like another chapter, because all of these are like completely different experiences, But sailing across the Atlantic Ocean is super crazy too, because first of all, I get seasick. Like really bad,
With medicine too?
Oh yeah. Like I hate the medicine, but with medicine, like the medicine isn't good for me. And normally, if you look it up, like you stop getting seasick after like 48 hours, right? After 48 hours, you're good. You know, the
so
first
like-
48 hours, you like throw up, and then you're good. Yeah, I need a week. You know, like the first 4 days, every day would throw up. You know, it's just
That must be
miserable.
so rough. Like, your
Yeah.
stomach is just in a mess.
Yeah, sailing is super hard. You know, people might think, oh, it's romantic on the ocean. Like, nah, it's like small space. We had like 2 room. Basically, we had a cockpit where, you know, we have the steering wheel, and then we had like 1 room, which is like the living room and the kitchen. And there was like 1 small bathroom and two like, how do you say that? Two like beds.
Single beds.
Like bunk beds.
Bunk bed. Yeah, I slept in the living room, so I had like no privacy, right? And you know, like you need to be very careful, like which cabin you find, because once you're in the ocean, you're on the ocean. You know, you're on the ocean. You know, like nothing can happen. Like you can't call anybody. Maybe you have like a radio. The captain has a radio, which you could theoretically call him in aid. But you know, if shit happens. You know, you're on your own. You know, and how depending on how far you are, like even like a speedboat might take like 1-2 days, you know. And if you have like a bad captain, I've heard about a captain who wanted to have like sex with 2 other like boat hitchhikers, you know, like I think they got off good, but you know, being in the middle of the ocean, like what you're gonna do, you know?
Scary.
What you're gonna do? And he could just like throw them off the boat, you know?
Yeah.
And then they were gone. And she's like, he's like, you know, they just fell off the boat, you know? He could just rape them and like throw them off the boat. Yeah.
That's wild.
So you need to be very careful with that, you know. I guess that's probably the most dangerous thing so far. And if you fall off the boat, you're also dead, you know. That's like it's like you constantly stand off the edge of the abyss. It doesn't feel like it, but it is like that, you know, because the boat moves constantly in one way and it's pretty fast, and it has sails. So turning around takes a long time because you need to start the motor, then you need to put down the sails, and then you need to like the boat has like momentum, and you stop the boat and like turn around. And meanwhile, you just like the small pop, which like immediately moves in the other direction because there's like a current, right? And moves you away. And if you add storm on that, if you add night on that, you're basically invisible. Like the chances of you finding you is very slow. It's very slim. So you mostly like you're clicked in the boat, but if you fall down, you die. You know.
It must be crazy being out there at night too, because there's just nothing.
It's just nothing. Yeah, for days and days, it's just nothing. All you see is ocean. Nothing. Once dolphins are the most amazing thing. If you for days and days you see nothing and you see these dolphins playing, it's
magical.
I have my favorite animals now. And you don't really do anything, you know, because you're seasick and it's kind of hot and you're not really motivated to do anything. You also don't have Wi-Fi. Mostly you just sleep.
There's not a lot of space, so you can't.
You can't do exercise, or you do watches, you know. Each of us have to do like 8-hour watches. I mean, like a little bit complicated, but let's say 8-hour watches a day, right? So, so basically you just sit there and you just watch the instruments and you watch the ocean for like 8 hours per day. And that's basically sailing. And also salt, you know, you have like there's a lot of waves coming in, and sometimes, you know, you get wet, but everything is salty and you don't have enough like drinking water to like shower regularly, so everybody smells like shit. Like there's like a film of salt everywhere. Like everything you touch is like salty, you know. You try to keep it from going inside because you wash your hands when you come in and you change your clothes and you put like vinegar on, but it's salty everywhere, you know.
That makes you more dehydrated as well, right? So
you need to drink a lot.
You have a lot of water on board.
Yeah. And after I think week 1, our gas broke. And we cook with gas, right? And this is a huge problem because 80% of our rations are like pasta or lentils. And now you can't cook them. We have like 20% like whatever, like other things. But that was the most scariest shit ever. It was like how the hell do we
of the Atlantic
cross it? You know, you can't really turn around and you have no food and you kind of have to survive, right? So...
What is the vibe like on a boat after something so demotivating like that happens?
It's very quiet. Everybody sits. Nobody talks. Nobody talks. It's like you just, you know, the captain. You know, captain calls everybody down in the saloon and he tells what's happening, and everybody is just quiet for like 5 minutes and nobody talks, and it just goes all through your head like, how the fuck
what are we gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. It's you know, and eventually we're like, okay, let's think about this. Can you eat lentils if you put them in water overnight? You can't really. No, we tried. You know, but yeah, luckily after 2 days he kind of managed to fix it, which was like, oh my gosh, he can cook again. You know, for 2 days we kind of like try to eat as little as possible and survive. But you know, it's like, oh my gosh, you know. We've done with that, you know, like there's like he kind of fixed the leak and like it's still, we wasn't sure maybe we would run out of gas in the end, but it was like, for now it was good. That was the first scary part, and the second scary part was like after I think like 15 days or so, our motor broke.
That boat need to go.
Yeah. And the motor, well, you have sails, right? You move with sails.
You just have to do everything.
But the motor, there's several problems. The first problem is if you have no wind, you put on the motor. If the motor doesn't work, you don't move, right? So theoretically, if you could, the journey could like go as you have like a time schedule, like how far you like have water and food, and like if you have no wind and you don't move, you just don't move, right? And you're just hoping for sails. It doesn't have for wind. It doesn't happen that often, but it happens. And just like the longer you stay there, everything goes down, you know, like you like plans and stuff. And the second thing, the way worse thing is like electricity, because we have solar panels, but at night you have no solar panels, right? And we have a battery, and the instruments constantly need to run. But in the night, it's nearly every night, like we run out of like electricity, basically every night. So we need to start a motor. And this means we need to be like super careful with electricity. We had some fans, you know, because it's super hot. We had to turn off the fans. We had to turn off like the refrigerator. We couldn't charge our phones anymore, or just like the captain's phone. It was just that. I also didn't document that too much because my phone ran out of battery. You know, like you need to charge. You need to save at every single point. You know, like you don't have cold water anymore. You know, no, it's just like the heat is just like getting 10 times worse because no cold water and no fans, and eventually the captain also somehow fixed that after a few days, you know.
He real good. He's a monster.
Yeah, I think no, it wasn't actually the captain, like the friend of the captain who like works for the American military and whatever, is like physicist, and he fixes it all the shit. But you know, like you don't know that happens, you know. You don't know that it's gonna be okay, you know. It might be that for like the next 1 to 2 weeks you might either not have food or it doesn't work. And it's very it's high stakes, I would say. It's very you need to be very calm, you know. You can't go on a boat like I'm so lucky that my captain was very calm, my crewmate was very calm, but I can imagine that there are people who like kind of go insane.
It's
just like yeah.
You were calm?
Yeah, I was calm. I'm like, okay, we're gonna get through this, but you know. And I think I'm so lucky that I have like the best captain. Like most of the success from my journey is just like luck. You know, I heard about so many other people that way worse experiences. You had to pay way more for getting across the Atlantic, and then there were like really asshole captains. My captain was the best captain, and well, my captain needed to fix his boat before he wanted to like cruise the Caribbean, and you have the best dry docks in the Caribbean, and that's how I got to Trinidad. You know,
wow!
I just arrived there, and my captain was like, "Okay, I'm gonna like fix it, but you're gonna stay here." He went, back to the US, and I just arrived in this weird island that they call Trinidad, and then I was just standing outside of the marina in Chaguaramas, and yeah.
Did you know about Trinidad before you came here?
No. I didn't know the country existed like a few weeks before I arrived. Yeah.
So what did you do? Did you start researching as you got it?
Well, once I arrived, I'm just like looking at it and like talking to people, and they told me like there's so much crime here. There's so many people that were like, you're like on the 6th in the world of crime. Shit.
Oh no!
Where did you leave?
And it's like there are snakes, you know, snakes in the jungle. You know, they kill you. You're like 2 hours. You know, they bite you 2 hours, you're dead. Shit.
I know, they're trying to scare you.
You know.
That is so
but I have no place to sleep. You know, it's getting dark, and I'm like, shit. Okay, shit. I have to go in the jungle tonight. You know, shit. you know, and then just my freaking flip-flops. I lost my shoes on the way, so I had like flip-flops I like get from the hotel, you know, from the lost and found. My flip-flops. I just walked through the jungle of Chaguaramas with like a flashlight, looking for snakes. I'm like, shit, you know, like where do I put my hammock tonight? Just freaking crazy, you know. Like, what's going on here? Like people tell me the jungle, they're the Venezuelan refugees in the jungle. They
overdoing it though.
They were trying to escape.
you know, they have like cannabis fields in there. You know, if you go there, they shoot you. They have the booby traps that kill you. Well, basically, I just found a place to sleep in the jungle, and then I just slept in the jungle for like the first week. And up in Chaguaramas, and I don't know, I just like your bus tickets are really cheap, and just 2 TT, and I just go into Port of Spain each day, and I just met people randomly, you know, like bus station, just talk to people, and some people would like invite me to like waterfall or some hikes. Eventually I met the scouts, and they let me sleep at the scout place. I moved. Okay, I also moved because like some guy like owned the jungle when I was sleeping, and he kind of kicked me out. And,
Trespassing.
kind of. You know, well, he was like kind of cool about it. You know, it's just like take your stuff and go, but you can't stay here. You know, it's okay. But yeah. And I had the idea, you know, since I did my pilgrimage and walking across the country, and it's like, in my opinion, the best way to learn about a country, because you see all like you have like you see all the different like subcultures, or like a lot of them, right? You see like the whatever. Fishermen and the farmers and the cities, and like, you know, if you walk across, you just see like a little bit of everything, and you kind of
get to interact better as well.
And you see how it changes, you know, over time. You know, it's not like from there to there, it's like slowly change, you know, from I don't know, small villages to like more bigger cities. And I had the idea to walk across, and you know, this just came in my mind because I thought that, you know, people are actually really nice, you know, and I think I can actually do it because I found out like the crime is mostly in this area, and you know, so many people told me it's the worst idea ever. I'm like, hey, no, guys, I'm gonna prove you wrong. That's like a good idea, and I think people in Trinidad are really awesome, really kind. Let's freaking do this, you know. And I guess that's how I had the idea to start walking across. And back then I wasn't like big on social media, nothing. I had like 80 followers on Instagram, and I had
80.
Like this thing blew up as he like basically as you reached Trinidad. Like
no. It blew up like 2 days before I started walking. You know, I had 300 followers on subscribers on YouTube. And like I get in contact with like one of the newspapers, you know, I try to, okay, maybe someone is interested. I just wrote everybody, like 16 emails, you know, one newspaper wrote back, you know, and they were like, okay, I think your story is kind of cool. They wrote a story about me.
That's cool.
And, you know, I did like a video, like 3 videos, like where I announce what I do and like that my equipment. I posted them on Instagram. I think like 2 people follow me from Trinidad from that, right? I take the exact same videos, post them on TikTok. The next day I have like 1,000 followers, right? And, you know, then someone from the TV saw the newspaper, and I was in television, and I started. And when I started, I had like 5,000 followers, you know? And then at the end of the day, I have like 10,000 followers, you know? Like 2 days, I have like 10,000 followers, like crazy. You know, my Instagram goes up too. I have 1,000 followers on Instagram, like YouTube goes up. You know, right now I have like 32 followers on TikTok and 10,000 on Instagram and like 4,000 on YouTube, you know, so just boom. You know, just from one day to the next, just like at the beginning, crazy. You just like, it's just, crazy. Yeah. You know, the thing is, you, at the start, you know, for YouTube channel, for like the whole year I did the YouTube channel, you always look at the numbers. At the first, I was like, always, okay, I got another view, you know, a view. Somebody watched my video, you know. Eventually I was like, okay, just like subscribers. You know, I got another subscriber. I would get like 1 subscriber per week, maybe. I got another subscriber. And then like I just refreshed my TikTok. I was like more than 100 subscribers in like freaking 5 seconds, whatever. It wasn't that, maybe not that crazy, but like, you know, you just like, you refresh your TikTok and it's just like, messages, comments, like likes, it's just like boom, it's all full. It's so crazy, you know, like before it's just like, you just refresh and every single day you look, oh, like, yeah, that's subscriber, no, all this just, it's very hard to deal with that in your mind. It's just like so bizarre. On top of that, I get like phone calls, like I don't know, TTT wanted to like did a like TV6, like I don't know, some loop, like some media outlets, some radios, some whatever. They all wanted to start having interviews with me. Like some companies try to sponsor me.
For real?
Yeah, it was crazy. Like day 2, got a
Turning
message.
them down or?
Yeah.
Oh.
Got a message from Blue Waters. They want to sponsor me.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you turn them down?
I don't want to get sponsored. I
guess because you're trying to do it without, least amount of money.
Yeah, well, for those who don't know, I guess I walked across Trinidad with no money, and no equipment, just my phone, just recorded. And I don't know. I think you all kind of know what the walk was like. I hope so. I'll walk across. I could say that some people... by the way, chip in if you have like any questions or anything.
How did you get from like here to Toko? Because Toko is where you started from.
Oh, I was friends with the scouts. He just drove me, like the guy from the scouts. Yeah, he just dropped me over.
Oh, okay.
You even decided on the route. Well, I think it's just because it's the furthest part.
Yeah, versus possible points.
Open the map and I was like,
At 100% now that was just like the map. Okay, what's like this is more so well, so south. Let's walk it.
Looks good.
easy.
Yeah, just what's the best path I can take from those 2 points? Exactly.
Because all this popularity, it kind of made your walk a little tougher and longer than you thought.
It was crazy, like before, like nobody talked to, like only my family watched my shit, like after day 3, 4, it was so bizarre. It's not that bizarre right now. On the walk, like was the height of my popularity, I would say, like it's everybody wanted to do something for me. I just walked through the cities, like people would like try to like find out where I go next, they look at my thing, try to like find me. I literally have people to like drive down the road because they wanted to find me, talk to other people, It was so bizarre. It was so crazy. And the thing is like, it was so crazy that it stopped me from walking, If you there's so many people, like 10 people, if 10 people for like in half an hour wanted to stop me, right? And each takes like 3 minutes.
Couple minutes,
Yeah, that's like another half an hour. Yeah. If I walk for 4 hours, that makes 4 hours into 8 hours,
Yeah.
Not everybody took 3 minutes, but there were way more than 10 people in half an hour, I was just,
That is wild.
it was so crazy. Like in cities I could literally walk from house to house. Every single house, there was someone standing there. Like every 4th car stops, I got so much food, I couldn't carry it. I turned down so much food, but I just carried the food where people insisted, but it was so much food. Like one day I was just like, in the evenings, like I would just leave it wherever I sleep most of the time. Not always, but like just like I slept at like primary school and I had like a whole table, like a little bit smaller than this table, but like full of like food, water, energy drinks,
Mangoes.
absolutely, yeah, mangoes too. Yeah, I got diarrhea from those. But anyway, it's like full of. It was freaking bizarre, like so much food, and like people. This is I don't know. It's so crazy, but I have to. It's hard to be like grateful, At the beginning. It was super, when you're like really hungry and you need food, it's super, you're super grateful. Like, oh my God, thank you so much. I thought like posting like a picture of everybody like helped me along the way, like day 4 or 5, it's just like, please don't stop. Oh shit, he stopped, like, okay, he wants a picture from me. And some car stopped. Oh, he stopped. Oh, why is he stopping? Another car stopped, another car stopped. You had three cars stop in a row, like one car stopped. Yeah. Another car stopped. I'm like, okay, please don't give me food. No, I have enough food. Like I would give away food, like give away food to people, it's like, I still appreciate it, but it's not the same, when you're like, I don't want food, actually. I have so much food, but you really, really want to give me food,
That's crazy.
I don't know.
Such a stark contrast from
from being desperate in Europe.
And I was like, well, please don't give me anything.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. Like if people like accusing me, you're not grateful enough. Like it's hard, guys. Like I don't actually.
I understand because I saw some people hating any comments about what you saying. Too much people stopping me, but I could understand.
Yeah, I can understand.
Like I try.
It was like ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just like people don't understand. Like it's hard to describe as it's just so incredible amount of people who stop me, I don't know. Luckily, by this pilot stops down. I can walk to Port of Spain. Maybe I take like 2-3 selfies here and there. Or today I just took like 1 selfie or 2 selfies. But, it's not like people like every day on their phone, like looking, when he's coming to my community, let's go. At what time is he coming? Like, let's go and check him down. It was awesome. It was awesome, but also was a lot. And eventually I finished and I walked across and. Then I had the idea to go to do the same thing in Tobago because a lot of people wrote me do Tobago next,
Not the same thing, barefoot.
Yeah, barefoot too.
Why?
And I want a friend of mine from Scouts, he has like a daughter and the daughter has lupus. Right? Lupus is like an autoimmune disease. Basically, the immune system attacks the body. And you get like all kinds of problems. You get like rashes, you get like kidney failures, heart failures. You have like incredible amounts of pain. You have to spend in the hospital, and it comes like in phases. So you might be fine for like weeks, a month, and maybe like a year. But then there comes another phase. And it could be like a week. It could be a month, but it could also be a year. And it comes from just out of nothing, and it's really hard on the people because they don't really like a lot of employees don't understand because the day before she was fine and then like she's just in the hospital, it's just like you don't really see the people. It's just mostly it's internal. And I wanted to, with that I got in contact with like the president of the Voice of Lupus Foundation, and she wanted to like build a small clinic because there's like side effects. You need to take a lot of drugs and there's drugs with side effects, and for that you need like regular checkups. But in the normal like hospitals and like the normal way, it takes like a long time to get like the appointments for these checkups. So she wants to make like a clinic with like volunteers, and she wants to get free checkups. And I want to help raise a little bit of money that and raise some awareness for lupus. And that, let's combine this. Let's do the walk across Tobago. And, John has the idea, it's kind of boring. The walk by itself. It's just like, I could do this, and like if I really wanted to, like 2 days walk across Tobago, so let's walk around Tobago, and like more make it more interesting, challenging, almost like challenges, I'm not sure if you got it by now, but I kind of like challenges sometimes, sometimes it's also really, really bad, but sometimes I'm a little bit obsessed with those things. I'm like, let's do this barefoot, And I'm not a barefoot walker, I just a normal guy who wears shoes most of the time. I don't have like tough feet, but I just sometimes I'm a little bit too determined.
Could not imagine walking on this hot road.
Yeah, it's so hot.
No, like how does one do that?
You don't. You walk on the side of the road.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, like sometimes you can't. If it's too hot, you can't walk. It feels literally like if it's too hot, literally like putting your hand like on a like. Full on stove. Yeah. It burns. It literally burns your feet. You're like, you can't stop walking. It's just too painful at some point. But we mostly try to walk like in the morning, and there was some rain and it was good. And just try to walk as much on the side of the road. But the stones were the big problem, because my feet weren't used to that, and they wear down. Your calluses wear down. And the thing is, they get tougher over time, but we walked every day, so they didn't have time enough to recover. Exactly. In the morning was okay, but in the night, each evening it goes like worse and worse and worse and worse, because, they had like a little bit of time in the morning was okay, they recovered, but like they didn't like fully get back to the, to the whole thing. And during the last 2 days, we just put like bandages under our feet. Also cut my feet on like some metal things, so I had some like scraps there. And just like put bandages under my feet, and I don't know, just the last day was very painful. The last day also, like I walked 20 kilometers. Normally I would walk 15 kilometers, but the last day let's go through this. Let's walk 20 kilometers, and I did it, I did it, but it was very, very painful. Very
imagine
painful.
which.
There's a lot of hills and things as well, so you was just like, weren't you just tired?
Which one you enjoyed more?
What? Oh God, no! The one in Trinidad, 100%. Tobago was painful. Jeez. It was very painful. Yeah, I thought about I'm gonna do all these touristy things. I'm gonna see like the birds, and like I'm gonna see like like everything that has to do with anything related to more walking is like just an instant no. You don't want to walk anywhere else. It's just go through this, but you don't have like really the the time to enjoy stuff that has to do with walking. You don't go off the road to just see a waterfall. You don't do that.
Yeah.
You don't go off the road to like see some like bird watching thing. Just if there's like a restaurant that serves some like good food nearby and they like invite you, like, okay, let's sit down there. Or there's like, I don't know, there was like a petting zoo or something. Some guy had like some animals, was just next to the road, where kids sit down. Let's enjoy this, but you don't walk anywhere else, you just don't do it.
Good.
And I guess that's my story so far,
Yeah. So where's the next step? I know Amazon.
Well, my goal now is like, first I just wanted to go the Amazon rainforest, but now I want to go around the world. No money, just I want to go once around the world. Probably gonna take me around like 5 years or so. I want to like take my time. So I think I'll like do like 1 year South America, and I would really love to spend the next 3 months living with a tribe in the Amazon rainforest, the tribe of Barao. Try to get there now. Yeah, wish me luck. It's gonna be tough.
So when are you planning to leave?
I'm 26.
Okay, so
This month. I'm gonna take a ferry to Tucupita, this is a city in Venezuela, and from there, I'll
figure it out.
figure it out. Try to get some contacts and try to get down there.
So what the goal is just to live with the tribe, see how they live,
So
learn from them.
yeah, I wanna live with a tribe. I wanna document it all. And I just want to go there and like be part of it. I want to sleep how they sleep. I want to eat what they eat. I want to drink what they eat, what they drink, just with like a filtered water bottle. But
Your immune system will build up.
yeah. Hopefully, I'll probably get some food poisoning sometime. Maybe.
Sure.
Hopefully, I don't die down there. I have like some medical kit. I hope it's enough. And I don't know. I don't know. Work what they do. I probably can't hunt, but like helping agriculture, and I don't have too much money, but I want to support them with money. And if my YouTube videos blow up, or if my videos perform good, I also want to give them the money like I get from my YouTube. So it's probably not a lot, but you never know. And just show their story. I think it's just, why does nobody do this? Why does nobody like, hey, I just want to go and live with these communities? Like, very interesting way to live, like, and it's not documented, And it's basically, I think it's going to be pretty remote, like no electricity, no Wi-Fi, no nothing, in the middle of nowhere. And
Tough documenting that.
Yeah. I'll have to like, I'm gonna be offline probably for like a month or 2 months, just nowhere to be seen. And then hopefully I get like a boat back down, just like upload all my footage and
Plenty editing.
get back. Maybe like I do like try to in between. I'm like, can you like bring me back to the city, and I just upload everything and just go back, I don't know exactly how to do it. Again, like I don't know exactly. It's just like one step at a time. I need to figure it out. I have solar panels. I have some stuff to record, and just I don't know. Just we'll see.
Excited to see where this journey leads you.
And then just travel the world. Just want to see so much. I really love to go to Antarctica. I'm not sure if I can do that, but maybe. I don't know, just everywhere. Maybe North America next, and then across the Pacific, which is like 4 times longer. It's gonna be even harder. That's rough. See some islands, Australia. Would love to like ride across Mongolia on a horseback, on a hitchhike through India. I have so many ideas. Live in a monastery in Thailand as a Buddhist monk. I have so many ideas.
Bro.
And just see where, but just one step at a time. Maybe I do none of those. Maybe I just change my mind.
I could see you with the bald head up in the monastery.
You could be a monk.
Yeah, but you said you want to travel for about 5 years, but somebody who does that, I can't see them going back to regular life after that. So
I'm not sure. Maybe. Who knows? It might be difficult or different or weird. I don't know. I don't know exactly what my life is gonna be. My life is so weird, It's like, I don't know. I just think like something that I do well at travel sticks in some way, Maybe I'll just, when I finish, just continue. I mean, my YouTube works well, and I become like a YouTuber, and I just stay in Germany, but like fly to different places, or I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe I stay somewhere while traveling. I'm like, okay, I'm just now living in the jungle. That's my life now. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Nice.
Everything is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly, I mean, look at what it took for you to be sitting here with us today.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the whole Trinidad thing wasn't planned. I was planning to just leave after like a week or so. Just go a week and go straight to Venezuela. But this all happened.
Very cool. And I'm curious to know how. How to ask this way? Like how Tilo has evolved as a person since the travel from being in a small town, growing up, same old, and then seeing all this.
That's kind of crazy. I changed a lot. You get more relaxed. I started meditating. It's pretty good. You need to. If you don't meditate, like I think you get insane. You need to take some breaks from time to time, and just focus on the next step. Just like the next tiniest step. What's the next thing I'm gonna do, and always try to stay calm and be like, okay, whatever happens, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna get through this. And I think the most important thing I learned is like, don't take yourself so seriously. Like what the fuck? It's just yeah, okay. You sleep in the street. Yeah, you kind of homeless. It happens. It's not the worst shit. Like okay, the motor breaks. It might be like really fucking shitty right after now, but I guess it's a cool story.
So
whatever.
Something to tell the kids.
Yeah. I think I just don't be too serious, and also like I got way more open. Like talking to strangers, I think. I don't know. I can buy back. I have no problem buying bread right now. Not too scared of that.
Yeah, it's a good position to be in.
I'd imagine you're like way more confident now.
In some sense, I'm still scared of social interactions, and still introvert, and I still don't like to party and like talk to too many people. But it gets better over time. It's not like I have like I still like I'm scared to talk to like people where I don't want to be rejected. I'm scared to be rejected. That's
Surprised you're still scared of rejection after.
Oh no, I don't know. It's just a different kind of rejection. We're kind of different, like I don't know, just because you're not scared of like. At first I was scared of like asking people for a place to sleep, but then you kind of get used to it. But still was then scared to like try to ask people for like a ride while hitchhiking, kind of get used to that a little bit after that. But still was scared of like asking captains because it's like an extremely different environment. I'm so scared of like getting rejected by like tribes, because like it's not like I'm just going there negotiating. It's just like asking them, just like trying to get someone who's like getting me down there and like, hey guys, I want to do this. You guys in, you want to do this, but I'm scared to ask them,
And if they don't, like, is there any other options, or you have like one
several tribes.
All right. Try.
I would just try to get down there and just try and talk to them, and we'll see.
Has anybody asked to join you?
Somebody has in Trinidad.
Where?
Somebody joined you for like they were joining for like a day or something.
Yeah. But Bashir is a guy who joined me on Tobago. He walked actually the whole way with Tobago.
Oh yeah.
He joined me. Like some people join me like on the way, but I don't think anybody has joined me to do my whole journey, and I don't think anybody can join me. This is not something. It's not. You need to be very tough, and you need to know what you're doing, and you need to be very calm in like tough situations and be like able to deal with them. It's not
for the faint of heart.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if I want to travel with anybody because I take on risks. I do dangerous things. I don't want to have responsibility for someone else. I don't want to, and I don't want to like risk other people's lives or like other people. It's sometimes a little bit scared of other people. I don't want to like. I know what I'm doing, but I can't control what they do. And sometimes it's like tricky situations, and I don't know. I don't think I'll ever have a travel buddy. Maybe for like a while, but I don't see myself. I don't think so.
I think you like the solitude too.
Yeah, I like solitude. Yeah, I do like solitude. And hitchhiking is way easier if you're alone, and finding a place to sleep is way easier to alone. I'm never say never. has to be a very special person, has to be a very tough person, you know, very into that kind of shit. You know? And there are not a lot of people who do what I do, you know.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
And do you think there's anything that you learned so far that you're gonna like implement in your next part of your journey? Like, are you gonna buy new things? Or are you gonna like?
Oh, constantly. I learned that the solar panel I bought before is kind of shit, so I have to get like a new solar panel. And constantly equipment breaks, equipment I don't need. It's just, I don't know. I learned that you don't get big cameras, you know, get smaller cameras, and try to get like a GoPro or a smaller camera, because it's just like, you know, even with your phone, you know, first of all, if it steals it, yeah, like your whole phone is gone, and second of all, you know, it's just like if you have a smaller camera, it's less obvious. So many things, you know. It's, I don't know. I constantly learn. I learn Spanish or English, and Varao, the language of the native people. It's called Varao. I'm trying to learn that. French too. I constantly learn everything. I learned so much about traveling, like other ideas, how to find a place to sleep. I don't know how to connect with people. Like so many things about different cultures and different, like how people think differently on different parts of the world. You know, it's just, I don't know. I learn a lot. So I learn every day.
So, what would you say is the main difference between people in Trinidad and people in Germany? The people you encountered?
I don't know. People are very relaxed here, not that stuck up. You know, very. I don't know. Very not that, you know, punctual. Not you know, not that like exact. You know, like I don't know. I heard they can build like a house here in like 4 months or so. You know, if they have enough workers. In Germany, you need like
Not locals.
but you can't. I don't know. That's what they told me. In Germany, you would need like a year for that. You know, to like get all the permits, and like you need to have like building regulations, and you know certain ways you need to build that. And here you can just build a house.
I mean, we have that, you know, but some people don't really care.
Yeah. Well, also we don't really have like gangs in Germany, you know. At least not in my village. Like I think a small few in some cities. You know, it's not like gangs. You know,
Y'all have any crime in your town?
not that kind of crime. Not like bad crime. You know, people who don't care about like government regulations crime. Obviously, there's like a guy in the next town who drove like, I think, 22 years without a driver's license. Just didn't give a shit. Eventually got caught, but like, you know, those kind of things.
Crime. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. But you know, there's like, I think there was like one break-in in like 10 years in the whole village. I don't know. There's nothing. I never heard of any like serious, I don't know. But sometimes people like beat each other up when they drink too much alcohol and party. You know, and you know, like people don't care about regulations here and there. You know, they build stuff where they are not supposed to build stuff, and you know, sometimes, you know, they drive through roads they're not supposed to drive through. Nobody cares. Like nobody. There's no police.
Petty crime. Yeah.
There's no police in our village. You know. And also people know the police. You know. I don't know. Just. I don't know. Nothing like to worry about. I mean, you can't be safe. You're absolutely safe at night all the time, unless it's winter and you're like you don't have enough clothes. You know, that's a good thing. You're never cold.
Yeah.
But in Germany,
it's hot. How you been dealing with the temperature?
That's hot. But I don't know.
Across the Atlantic, though.
Yeah, the Atlantic was super hot.
That had to be worse being in that cabin.
Yeah. Because it's like an oven. You know? There's not a lot of like air coming in and out because of the water. You know, because if air comes in, the water comes into. Yeah. It's just an oven. It's just super hot. You know, you just sweat the whole day. You know, you can't shower. Just smells like shit. It's just. I don't know. You get used to it too. You know, you get used to so many things. You know, after some time, it's okay.
Yeah, you just deal with it.
It's not pleasant, and I'm so glad I'm not on the ocean anymore. You know, I will go on the ocean again, and I think soon.
Yeah, the 26th. You said you leave, right?
I guess it's a ferry. That wouldn't be bad.
Ferry. Come on, That's not. That's
Yeah,
not.
I know
That's,
we buy.
the ferry and a sailing boat across the Atlantic is like
That's what I'm saying.
different.
Baby weight.
Yeah, that's baby thing. Like there are people who get seasick who wouldn't even go on the ferry from like Trinidad to Tobago. I can't imagine going across the
Yeah.
Atlantic and you get
Yeah,
seasick.
I get seasick on the ferry too. Just to say that to people, I get seasick on the ferry too.
Wild.
I just go through with the Atlantic crossing and I still seasick. I just throw up and I'm just sick. There's no secret sauce to it. I mean, some patches help a little bit, but I still throw up at day 4. It's just like 4 days of just freaking miserable. You go through it, just miserable and tired, and you just lay down. If you lay down, it's okay because you don't move that much and you don't feel that seasick. So basically, you just either sit and do watch or you lay down, for like days. You don't do anything. You don't have motivation to do anything. It's just so hard, and you don't.
Was that the toughest part of your journey so far?
No, the toughest part was the first part, like being poor. That was the toughest part.
Being poor was worse than crossing the Atlantic.
Yeah, because you didn't know where to get food, and you're always on the edge. If something goes wrong, like the whole journey goes wrong. Yeah, being poor was really was a tough.
Shit.
Yeah, it's shit. I would rather go across the Atlantic again. Well, I do actually want to go across the Pacific than like we have no money again. It's just that bad. It's just this mindset, because you compare yourself to other people too. Everybody you see in the city has more money than you. Everybody there has like a place to sleep tonight. Everybody there has food tonight. You see them eating. You see the like kebab. It's like €8, and you're like, that's my weekly budget. It's like you see whatever other living in a society where everybody has like so much more and can afford so much more, while you have like basically nothing. It's just like it fucks with your mind, and then you have like the survival instinct. Like I need to make money. How do I get this? And then you have this hard work. Each day like pizza factory and walking a lot, and just fucks with you. It fucks with me. It's just. I don't know. It's really, really tough,
Crazy how you have to deal with that
Sleep
at
in
the
tents.
start of your journey too.
Yeah, and then comes the rain, you get wet. Like, how do you wash your clothes, And then, like, obviously, I kind of like lied to my employers about my address. If they found out I was homeless, I might get some problems too, And then I was always on the edge. Like, will the people where I sleep with my tents, because they only wanted me for like 1 week, will they throw me out? Because there was always maybe they throw me out. Like nothing was secure. It was so insecure, everything. And it's just like, you don't have a secure place to sleep. You don't have a secure place. You don't have food secure. You're I don't know. It's really tough to go through all of these. And I don't want to say I don't want to compare myself too much with like other homeless people, because I always had the option to quit. But I somewhat can understand like. Can be really, really tough for like being homeless. It's like, people sometimes think like, if I would be homeless, that's how I'm going to do, just how about get a job and get out. Like you think differently if you're like homeless. If you think differently, if you you don't know where to sleep tonight, you don't know what to eat tonight, and you're hungry and you're thirsty and you smell, you think differently. And it's also like difficult. Getting everything is like difficult. Like getting a shower, it's difficult. You can get it somehow. You can go to a homeless shelter, you wash yourself in like the fountain or whatever. But it's like difficult. You need to walk there. You need some soap. And you need to shower, because for the job interview, you need to look good.
Sure.
You need to have like nice clothes. Somewhat. You need to like present yourself a little bit. And it's just I don't know. I'm so glad that I went through this. It's like made me tougher as a person, but I'm prepared to do it again. But I really don't want to.
You know what I wanted to ask you?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the longest you've been without bathing?
Don't ask me that.
Safe space.
Yeah, well, the internet knows now. 2 weeks maybe. Oof. I'm not sure. They had some showers at the company where I worked at. 2 weeks. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe somewhere on the way of St. James sometimes. At the beginning, I think during this journey. No. 2 weeks. Maybe 2 weeks. I think the worst was just on the ocean. The worst, I swear, was on the ocean, because you could always like shower like twice in like 20 days. Oh yeah, probably it was on the ocean. Yeah, we went 20 days from Cape Verde to here, and I think we could only shower like twice or so because we like had to save water and we were sweating the whole time, all the day, all day long. Like
cabin.
yeah, smell like shit. Yeah, I might have like had a period where I didn't have a shower for a little bit longer, but that was definitely the worst they smelled. You know, I don't know.
And then you have any point where you just weren't eating, you couldn't get anything to eat, or you were eating?
No, luckily I always had some food. You know, I mean, like I always had the food insecurity, yeah, in like Berlin. But I maybe like 1-2 meals I skipped, but you know, it was pretty good. I just kind of managed to do it somehow, but you never know, like that you can, you know. And hitchhiking. But while hitchhiking, you sometimes don't eat because you just go from like gas station to gas station. You don't go really in the cities because if you go in the cities, it's really hard to get out of there, you know, because from gas station to gas station, it's like the best place to like catch cars who go long distance. Sometimes for like a few days.
Those big
You know,
trucks.
yeah, exactly. Sometimes for a few days you don't. You only eat like a little bit bread from the gas station, or you don't eat that much, you know. But I wasn't really hungry for days. Might come later. Keep tuned, guys. But so far I'm good.
So good.
That's insane. Thing in Tobago, the robbery, you don't want to talk about it?
I can talk about it. Well, I didn't really got robbed. They tried to steal my phone. It wasn't like a big thing, really for me. But I just, you know, I walked down the road and talking with some cousins, calling my cousin, and you know, it's some like two guys saw me and they just waited in the jungle for me. And then I walked around the corner and they just like ran at me. And then one guy threw himself on me and like tried to get my phone, and they were like wrestling on the ground and I lost the phone. And we just try to, like, who gets the phone first? I caught it first, and then just like run for my life, you know, just running after me. And then the car passed by and was screaming at the car, like, stop. It's like a woman.
Get real lucky with that car.
Yeah. Eventually the car stopped and I got in, and like they didn't have weapons or guns. They just like, try to get my phone. Yeah.
And that didn't really taint the rest of your experience in Trinidad. You didn't like you just put it in the back of your mind and just continued.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it wasn't that bad, you know. I mean, like, they didn't have guns. They didn't hurt me physically. I mean, it's a little bit of a shock, but, you know, like, I don't know. It's not bad in that sense, you know. It could be way worse. I've been through way worse, you know. It was not pleasant, and I really didn't like it because I wanted to show like the good parts of Trinidad, and you know, it's not like not what I wanted to show with my journey, but you know, I'm always honest, or try my best to be. And yeah, that's basically the story about the robbery. You know, like every day there are people who like go through way worse, you know, like I don't know. And like every day there's like 8-9 people getting shot in certain areas of the country, you know, when the country isn't even that big, you know, you can walk across it in like 2 weeks, you know, it's just crazy, like so much worse stuff's going on there.
What's the most fun thing you've done since you've been here?
The most fun thing I've done since I've been here, I think the walk was kind of cool.
Kind of.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. Walk across Trinidad. Yeah, very interesting experience of being like from just like poor guy but fucking celebrity, and everybody gives you food, and like shit influencer now, and like from strange Caribbean country with like just so bizarre, like this experience, like so much removed from what I've been used to, like 18 years of my life before, you know. It's just such a bizarre experience, you know, like, you know, like, are you dreaming, you know? Is this real?
You told your parents you're famous in Trinidad?
Yeah. My mother watches everything the news puts out. Yeah.
Like my boy.
How did you feel about your robbery?
Oh yeah, I got a very bad.
Because that made the news too.
Yeah, I know. I got a very bad phone call from my mom, basically telling me to take the next flight back home and stop everything. You wouldn't want to have that phone call. It was very unpleasant.
Oh my god.
And your dad was like, it's okay.
It's like, the boy's gonna be okay, you know.
I love your dad. Yes.
No, he knows what he's doing. Yeah.
Actually, have you learned any like skills that
Skills.
in your traveling that would help you in the future with your other travels?
Sailing and social media. I'm still learning a lot about like YouTube and Instagram and all those kind of social media things. And also I learned sailing, and like traveling is a skill too, you know, like how to find a place to sleep. Dumpster diving is a skill, like how to like get stuff out of trash cans. It doesn't work here. It only works like in countries where they have too much cash and they just throw stuff away because like
North America.
yeah, North America, Europe, maybe Australia too, you know. If there's like freaking 6 packs of water and one is broken, it's like whatever. Or like one yogurt is broken, but there's like 3 other yogurts, and it's like just throw all away, and you know, like a little bit all of tomatoes, you know. Hitchhiking is a skill. Hitchhiking is like there's a whole science to it, you know, like where is the best spot? You know, it's all about the spots, you know, where's the best spot, like how do you make yourself visible and how do you make people trust you, and how like what's the best place, you know. People need to like drive slow, and needs to be easy to stop, and you need to
pull over.
Yeah, exactly. The easier it is to pull over, the better. Like the slower they drive, the better. The longer they see you, the better, you know. They see you from afar, they can like think about and more trustworthy you look. And you know, in the dark it's way more difficult than the light, and like, you know, you need to be on the right spot as well, like the spot where like the most cars go in the direction you want to go. I mean, there might be like tons of cars who go past by, but nobody goes like where you want to go, you know. You need to like as close as to the next road where you want to go, and there's like a whole science to it, you know. Like you need to make eye contact, you know, and like smile at them and put up your thumb,
Look friendly.
try to like convince them as much as possible, or just like talk to them on the gas station, which I think works better. And yeah, I don't know, you kind of figure it out, you know. Yeah.
And was there any time where you came close to calling it quits?
No.
Yeah, boy.
No.
Real.
No, really, not really. Well, at the beginning, I was kind of thinking about it in Berlin, but after that, not really. I mean, right now, I can't really call it quits, you know, like, it's difficult, you know, like, what would I do if I want to call it like quits, you know, like, I need to take like a plane back home, you know, that costs a lot of money. It's going to be so embarrassing just sitting there, you know, just sitting there like for like, I don't know, like 10 hours, and you're just sitting there, you know, fuck, I just feel like, what are you going to do with my life next? Like, you don't have like perspective other than this, you know, like, this is what I want to do, and there's nothing really that like captures me in the same way as this, so I can't really do anything else, you know, because this just captures me too much, you know, like, I don't know, just the feeling would be the worst, you know, and then like, you know, there's like thousands of people on social media like, why you quit, you know, like, I don't know, just what do I do with that, you know? That's also probably not that nice. I mean, you could just like delete all my social medias, but you know, that's, I don't think I will quit. I don't think I'll quit. I know it needs to be something very, very bad happening for me to quit.
Sure, definitely, you're definitely mentally strong. Yeah, you cried anyway on this journey?
I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't think so.
Really?
I don't know. I'm also not like as mentally strong as you guys might think. I'm very, how do you say, casual. I'm very, very relaxed. I see it a little bit in like a playful light. You know, it's not like, I don't feel like a freaking warrior out fighting like this huge battle. I'm just like, I don't know, more like a kid, you know, trying to have fun in the world, you know. And I think this way of seeing it makes it like less hard to deal with. So many people think like this huge fight, but it's not really the fight. It's more like some kind of play, you know. If you know what I mean, it's like the perspective you see it with, you know.
It's a good way to look at life in general.
Yeah. It's not. I don't like, if I would take it super seriously, it would be super hard, you know.
Okay.
But like, I think there's a difference between like pain and suffering, right? Pain is like the physical sensations, or like discomfort, and suffering, you know, discomfort is like the physical sensations or like the experience you have, and suffering is like what you make out of this in your brain, you know. And I try my best not to suffer, you know. Yeah.
Okay, guys, that brings us to the end of episode 12 of the Odyssey podcast. Today we had the pleasure of sitting down with Tilo and hearing his insane journey. And I must say, Tilo, on behalf of Kristen and myself, it was very interesting to sit down and hear how you arrived here, how you made those decisions, your motivations, everything that you tried, everything that you've accomplished. It's insane. And yeah, I just want to say thank you for coming
Thank
on.
Sure, no problem. Yeah. Like and subscribe, guys.
Finally, I just like to say thank you to all the viewers once again. I know every single episode I say this, but you know, me and Kriston greatly appreciate all the support, all the kind words, all the suggestions. You know, it means the real to us and it helps us out so much. So if you enjoyed the episode, please like, share, comment, follow the Instagram page. We have the episode available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube, and the clips will be posted on Instagram and TikTok. And if you want to check out Tilo's content, you can check him out at The Pilgrimage of Life on Instagram and YouTube. You know, subscribe to the channel, follow him, like his content. He has a lot more cool, interesting stuff coming soon. And yeah, I mean, thanks again for watching and see you next time.
Thanks so much, guys. And thanks, Tilo.
Thanks again, Tilo.
Appreciate it.
Ah, sure, no problem. Pleasure to be here.